Welcome to Living with Intuition Coffee Chats, your source of real perspectives, insight, and humor from down-to-earth, kick-ass intuitives. Join Lindsay from Super Secret Powers and Andrea from A Soul's Journey with Andrea as we delve into today's coffee chat. Hello, Francesca, already. You jumped on quick. Yay. So, it has been a crazy week. Spiritually crazy, energetically crazy, people crazy, but there's a method to the madness. I will say that, and we're going to delve into it a bit, not just because it's the energy of the week, but because there are some really important things that are coming up that are just kind of like universal, lifelong, classic kind of, and like just spiritual lessons. So how has your week been, Francesca? I'm not even going to tell anybody online the crazy stuff that happened today. Just because of privacy issues,
right.
But wow.
That was not the way I planned to start my day. That's
No.
ridiculous.
No. Like what happens when the house next door to you now becomes a haunted house? Like
I know.
Blink. Oh, Linda. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, nothing to do with us. So I'm not inserting myself in that, but like, I mean, intuitive level, I kind of just can't stop poking that bear today.
That's what got out of the house. I said, I'm going to the post office. I am taking my own little side adventure today. 'Cause I don't want to be here right now and think about this stuff.
Yeah.
And it did me good, really.
But beyond that craziness, there are a whole lot of themes coming up today that have been brewing over the last couple days because they've been a little heavy, at least for us. About new beginnings and fresh takes and learning how to walk your new next path, like your new life change, your new next chapter into being, right? And so we're kind of starting off this conversation here on the theme that just because you can't understand right now, like you can't see it, you can't necessarily see the analogy in the real world, or perhaps you do see the analogy, but you have no idea like how you would get there because it feels like inaccessible. Like it feels like too much of a leap for, how, like, when people say like, I want to be a millionaire, like, you don't even like really understand
I thought my lottery tickets
how that would change your life until it's changing your life, right? So there comes a point though when I think we're kind of like through our Saturn returns and all that in life where we're like, all right, that next chapter, I don't even know what that looks like. And you stop looking though externally. And it's not about the status symbols, and it's not about the lifestyle, let's say, because lifestyle is like this huge concept in this online world stuff. Influencers and lifestyle living, I'm a lifestyle business, that kind of stuff. Not about that.
No.
Because the external stuff is a kind of faking it till you make it, if you approach it that way.
Right.
And I think really there's this very strong message between like Saturn being retrograde and Pluto being retrograde and us coming up in Chiron retrograde this weekend. That the answer is never really external. The answer, like what's that next chapter going to be, is never really external. And it's something that you just literally have to walk and talk into being and breathe it and breathe into it and breathe into yourself. And like, it's not something you attain. It's not something you necessarily strive for, like you would strive for an achievement. It's something that is living within you. And so you have to let it live. And that requires like a whole other skill set for manifestation and co-creation than what a lot of people like to put out there. Because it's a lot of energy maintenance, a lot of emotional regulation, but work and clearing and healing. And but yeah, the ideas that are coming this week about what a next chapter could look like and could include, let's just say it's not happening right now,
Right.
because you're only just getting the call right now to start talking about it and to start living it, to start choosing it as you can, and to start with the very, very logical baby steps to see how it's going to fit into who you are and what it will mean to you. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not jump 5 years down the line. Our visions might be, and our revelations might be around the time of 5-10 years down the line, but we have to be here and we have to be now.
Yeah.
And so where are you with that? What's been inspiring you? This week, these last couple days. And so I'm gonna let Andrea talk for a while, because and then I'll talk about what I've been, how that's been hitting me.
It's like a 2-week unfolding. Like, I was using the example of an onion just now. I was talking to Lindsay before we got on. Peeling the onion layers, it's like, okay, it's like I was basically with the same man for 25 years, and then poof, I'm not. And you become somebody when you're with somebody else. And as an empath and all, I think I became more of a chameleon, and I just absorbed into everybody else's environment and went with the flow and kept the peace, and gave up my spark because nobody was listening to my point of view anyway. And I got frustrated and just gave in and did it their way. And so when you let go of all that and you start peeling back the layers, I'm like, who the hell am I really then? If I'm not this and I'm not that, and I did it at work as a counselor, I did it with everybody in the office and everything. I blended in and I kept the peace and I didn't start trouble. And so I know that's the same pattern I had. And so, like, who are you in the business world? Who are you in your personal life? Who are you? Who do you, what's your inside voice is saying to you these days? It's like,
my dog is being a bully.
Hi, Xander.
We had the door closed.
And he just barged right in. So this has all led to this unraveling, especially these last 2 weeks. It's like, I am like 99% very content being a house sitter, being on the road all the time. But I gave up having a house because of it. And now I'm like at the point where I'm like, but I have no space that really is my own. I have like no place to set up an altar and just keep it there. I'm always taking it apart, putting it back in the car, going to a new location, setting it up again. And it's like, I just want somewhere, not even like, because I'm not there that often anyway, but I just want somewhere that I call my own. That like, if I have a week off, I can just go and disappear there and just chill and like break up the monotony of life as a house sitter, because you don't want that to get old. You don't want to get bored with it, and you need a break sometimes, and you need some place to go to, And my cat was always my reason to go home when I did have a house, but now she's gone past couple of months, and now I would have no place, nobody there to go home to if I did have an actual house. And I'm a vagabond anyway. I'm like a gypsy girl who wants to be on the road. I get itchy really fast if I'm home too long. I want to be out there. So it is my passion to be a house sitter, but there's no balance there between the two worlds, you know, and sometimes, you know, it gets to me. Most of the time I'm fine, but there's weeks that I have off or something that I'm like, oh, I could have been home with Misty. We could have been watching the Hallmark Channel with her purring on my lap. You know, those little weird moments where you're just like, oh, that was so good. But I don't even know what that looks like without her. So, but these are things rolling around in my head, and then waking up at, you know, universe telling me I need to write a book all the time. And this has been going on for years. And it's been really, really loud lately. And I don't know. There's just like things that are like, the dust is being kicked up again. And it's good, because I mean, you have to settle into the new beginnings that you were in before. And you have to make peace with everything that you had to make peace for that time period. But now it's like, okay, Andrew, you're ready for more. You've rested, you recuperated, you let it all sink in, you let it all integrate, all the lessons, everything you need to learn from that portion of your life. Now it's time to kick it up again and see where it's going to take you next. This is the journey, not the destination. And so what's next? And it's an exciting, scary, overwhelming feeling all at once. It's like the best and the worst thing ever, because it's like, God, there's so many things I could do, so many places I can go, people to meet, things to accomplish that are on my list. But then, oh God, that means, oh God, more fear. You got to get past more fear. You got to step over that threshold again. That's like all I ever do, it seems. When do I get my peace? You know. But then, if you have peace, it's boring. If you did everything and all of a sudden your life is perfect and you're not going to have any more problems anymore, then what would life be? You know. But I still do wish for little breaks, at least. From the chaos. But it's all a learning lesson. It's all a journey, and I'm happy to be on it most of the time. When all the retrogrades catch up with you, then it gets a little like, oh God. But
it is, but it's the clearest call and signal we get sometimes during these intense energy periods, because there's we've been having these, because it doesn't always have to fall this way. But we've been having kind of like the retrograde summers here in the Northern Hemisphere. And then, of course, there's eclipse times. And then there's also the geomagnetic storms. All of those times really seem to increase the amount of clarity and downloads, like next level vision, next level lessons, all that kind of stuff. That are available to us based solely on like where we are with things. Because but today I've been working on a branding course for Super Secret Powers, and I was attempting to write my origin story, but I'm kind of just like writing everything down in a new way, because it's not really so much about my childhood or any one given period of time. Like today, I was really able to start seeing where I was starting and stopping myself, and where I was like hiding away, and really like my whole like evolution in a totally like different way. And it's just like, oh. So that's how the next chapter goes. It's like, gotcha. All right. And granted, I don't know what it all means quite yet, like physically, practically, what's going to show up tangibly in the world because of that revelation. But just being able to have that like just high level, like this is how a guide would see you kind of perspective today has just been like, I can see the patterns in everybody today.
Yeah.
I was kind of laughing.
She came and said, I know what we're going to talk about. I know for the past 2 weeks that this is going to come up. You're going to mention it sooner or later.
The home base stuff is coming up for Andrea soon. Hey, you can roll this down.
Talking about Lindsay with our relationship, sometimes she knows that she brings things up that I'm afraid to like admit to myself, or like I'm afraid to move forward on, and then she opens the door and then we like stir it up a little bit and then I go with it, so she knows me like that.
Yeah, and well, but even today with this, like the kind of like the stripping away of like what I would consider like all the major trauma points in my life, and just looking at it from this very like guardian angel down kind of perspective and level of saying like, where did I get disconnected? Where did I get disconnected? Where did I disconnect it? And like seeing, the ramifications and how some of it all trickled down. I mean, that's all like, history at this point. But it's then the question of what happens if I don't disconnect this time, or what is the next level of the lesson so I disconnect less, and what is the magnitude of that. It is really kind of like, whoa. It's like sideways thinking in a weird way. It's like sideways thinking, like it's doing weird things with the energy when I think about it. Yeah. So I know Melinda was saying that she's been getting a lot of light language and light codes, healing.
Yay.
She's been delving into healing energy music, connecting with her divine self and her light being. But have any like new chapter stuff, has that kind of stuff come up? Because it took me a couple days to really hone in on, that's what the stuff is. This is next chapter
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
And this is not just next chapter stuff, but almost being able to see yourself in the past, 10 years down the line, seeing yourself from the past kind of stuff. And there's a lot of potentiality, of course, around all that. So it's like not one fixed destination, but it's more like, at least for me, from my own vantage point, let's say, Lindsay, of seeing like just where they all converge. Because then it's just a choice. Like, do I want to write the book or not? Well, we'll see when we get there. Do I want to, do a speaker circuit route kind of thing? Probably not, but we'll see when we get there.
Right. You just never know.
Yeah,
You never know
because
what
we're really juicy
opportunities
at
are
that
out
point.
there, what people you might meet.
So I can't spend time sitting in this version of myself in this space and time and be like, I'm gonna like just start doing this, because you know what? It's not right now. It's not there right now, but the seeds are.
Yeah.
And just because I can't conceive of the exact situation or the boundaries I'll have to hold within myself, or the up-level decisions I'll have to pull in order to make it something I can say yes to and be all juicy and happy with it for that moment.
Right.
Yeah. Doesn't mean that it's not already growing.
And that's what I've been trying to do, is really feel deeply into my desires. And that, I think, is why I've been taking a lot of action lately, is because I have really been just sitting with it. And where do you want to go with this, Andrea? What does this really mean to you? Why are you so passionate about it? Get down to like the root of how you feel, because we overlook it sometimes. And when you really understand why you're passionate about something, and it really re-energizes you when you realize that things that you want now, you've always wanted and didn't know how to see it, feel it. But now all of a sudden it's becoming more real. It's becoming a more realistic dream than ever before, and you should stick with it. You should evolve it, and you should really understand your why.
And here's a thought to play with, though, that what you want is also wanting you.
Right.
So let's dip into the quantum reality here and say the relationship to what you want already exists. And how is it already influencing your life? So then what's the inevitable conclusion from there?
Right.
You know, just because I couldn't see 20 years ago how I would be able to manifest a life as like a person who owns a business and is a professional healer and who is unprofessional, and it's the inevitable conclusion from there.
Right.
You know, just because I couldn't see 20 years ago how I would be able to manifest a life as like a person who owns a business and is a professional healer and who is unprofessional intuitive. Like I had no concept of how that could really happen 20 years ago, when I was going to graduate college and was understanding that, you know, anthropology and archaeology wasn't the answer to my life mission. About where to go with that, because it didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Or it was still so in its infancy, like I didn't know what to do with it, or felt like it could be a long-term thing, you know, it's just another trend, you know, that kind of stuff. But I mean, it's been that long since, just for my own shits and giggles, that I got my first jewelry Reiki practitioner level. It's been incubating that long. So that was like kind of like my holy shit moment today.
All the years of asking for basically what I have received through the house sitting never looked like that. But it's everything that I love to do and want. I mean, I've always wanted to be a professional photographer. I've always wanted to serve. I've always been of service. I was a counselor. I was a Girl Scout. I've always been like that service-oriented SEA stuff. We've always been that kind of like, I want to help people. I want to make a difference in the world. And I never saw it as being a house sitter. I never saw it that way, but I love animals. I love nature. I love to travel.
Or showing up on videos and talking about your spiritual path.
Oh yeah, that it wasn't always easy.
Wasn't always easy. Like
No.
there wasn't that kind of internet back then.
Right, yeah.
Like Facebook.
Exactly.
Or Facebook was only
Right.
just starting, you know.
If I, back in my 20s, could I see myself doing this right now? No.
No.
No. Came from a strict Roman Catholic family. It was a hell no. So a lot has changed for the best, in the world and through our soul journey. And it's amazing. And so you should look back too and see where you started and how far you really have come so far, because
and just what it takes to get here.
Right. It doesn't always look like you wanted it to in the beginning, but it's always better, right? The universe always provides better than we've ever dreamed of. And I know that I have proof in my life. Not that I needed the proof, but there's definitely a lot of proof.
And so for more juicy nuggets, stay tuned. Stay tuned to Super Secret Powers and the Soul's Journey with Andrea. Every week we're doing this Living with Intuition chat, and then we go over and we post it on YouTube as well, so it just has more exposure. And yeah, so I offer individual sessions, both for general guidance, but from the Akash and from really like the energetic perspective. It's not like a Toro rating. Like, you don't come in there and you ask me like yes or no questions. This is like, if you want to talk to the guides, you talk to me and we'll talk through me together.
Yeah. It's rather cool.
I
I've
also,
done it with her
I
before.
also do sessions for helping people with their abilities, their intuitive development, their empathic development, making sure their energies, their boundaries are straightened back out so they can live well with their own abilities and, you know, who they really are on this deep soul level. And together we have a membership, the Queen of Your Inner Realms Circle. It's brand new. Next month, we're looking at running our free masterclass again. Next month, August, September, we still have to set a date. And what does Andrea do?
Oh,
What do
jeez.
you do?
I'm a professional house sitter. I'm an artist. I'm a photographer and a coach.
But you can go over to Soul's Journey with Andrea and look at all of her inspirational and motivational adventures and content.
Yeah.
So keep a lookout for us if you found this entertaining, resonant, and it helped you break through some of this intense energy to some clarity. And we will see you next week with Living with Intuition. But if you follow